You should name your cat Craig.
I wish he already wasn't like 5.5 years old and like.
I was about to say, I'm sure he's had a name for a long time now.
Used to his name. Oh,
cats don't even listen to their names anyways.
It's true. Yeah. They'd be like, hey man, what's going on? He'd be like, fuck you. Welcome to Super Pixels Weekly, the weekly podcast recorded exclusively in Discord. I'm your co-host Donovan. William would come in right now and say that he's William. Unfortunately, this entire week's intro got cut. I don't know why. The audio was lost, so I'm here to fill in the gap. We lost about 6 minutes of footage. So either way, you know where to find us, superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Email us in questions. Answer that question we pose every week. We're here for you. Go ahead and do us a solid. Check us out on all the major streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. You know, all the major hitters were there. Be sure to check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/pixelsandpints, and William's YouTube channel, World's Okayest Gamer on YouTube. Also, in the description, all those links to those will be there. There is a link for Instant Gaming because we are vicariously sponsored through Instant Gaming. So click that link, get some sweet discounts on CD keys, right? CD keys, that way to date myself, right? Make myself feel old. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and roll into the actual show now, picking up where the emails were answered. So we didn't lose too much, but go ahead.
Well, honestly, the worst game you've ever played.
We left it open to interpretation, but apparently the emails we got are actually going to piss off both of us to an extent. So this is fun. Welcome to the Joe Rogan experience.
You want me to read this one?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready. I've already been told multiple times. Also, before we start, you know where to find us, superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Send us your emails, hate mails, you know, which apparently is what these were. But yeah, that's what this was. But yeah, you know where to find us. Go ahead, Bill. Let me get angry. Let the vein pop in my head.
All right, this is from my boy Drew Garcia. He wrote in, and to give a little context before reading this, he is in the Navy, so that will make sense once I start reading.
Here we go.
Well, it'll make sense because of stuff he said. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts is the worst set of games ever invented.
What the fuck?
Literally between the 10 games, in parentheses or whatever, that's actually 3 trash games. It never took off for me. It also doesn't help that I had a guy on deployment who would spend like 5 hours a day locking down our community TV, playing through every single damn game. It truly made me despise the quintessential Disney characters and feel terrible about the Final Fantasy franchise. Honestly, fucking garbage. #roast me.
That's so. All right, I'm jacked. That's so. I feel his feels to an extent because.
I don't know, man. He's got big hate.
Well, no, not about that. I don't want to insult anybody that writes us in ever, right? But fuck you. No, but so I guess it's a bad game to him because of the experience. Now, I will level with him on the fact that the story is much like Kojima's like Metal Gear, like the Metal Gear franchise, where it's just fucking all over the place and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? What's going on over here? Why the fuck? Where's Donald? Like, but where's Goofy? And he's over there fucking off. Like, oh, yuck. So like, I get that. Convoluted stories fuck up or turn off games really for a lot of people, or turn people off of games. Now, I guess the experience too with how he just had to be a backseat to something he didn't even want to be a part of, right? By just watching somebody, especially because I can identify with the deployment thing, like having one TV or like one general like common area, and you've got like 30 dudes just like, can I get the TV, bro? You know, or like just the area.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I could imagine going out there and like going to the TV, like you want to go watch something, and the fucking Mike's playing Kingdom Hearts again. God damn it! Like,
no. So and like I I guess I identify with Mike because we were kind of those guys in our tent when we were in Kuwait, because we, in the center of our tent, we like had tables that we like made out of like scrap wood, like pallets, and we would play D&D on the weekends. But like, it wasn't just like, all right, guys, let's play D&D. Like, we would play D&D. We played it from like 11 a.m. to like 11 at night because we had nothing to do. And we were just in the middle of the tent, like in the walkway, like 8 dudes sitting in chairs, laptops in their lap, like fucking. So like, we kind of were those annoying people. So I feel bad now. But in terms of not experiencing it for yourself or having an interest in that, that's kind of where I guess the anchor comes from, because Kingdom Hearts is extremely near and dear to me. And I still, to this day, am remotely, I'd say 75% on board with the story. Like, a lot of the things I still don't understand, which I will talk about later. It is a point that I'm going to make later on in the show. But like, you have to experience it for yourself. And the only reason that it's super attractive to me was because it was like one of the first PlayStation 2 games I owned. And like, I saw Aladdin as a child, right? And I was like, oh shit, a Aladdin video game that wasn't the one for the Genesis that like made me want to kill myself, you know? So like, that's fair. I'll give him that. Secondly, the gloves are off. How dare you, sir?
Dude, he came in pretty hot.
He came in hot. It was warranted, but I did nothing to that man. But no, okay, that's fair. I mean, we did ask for it. Well, literally asked for it. I asked for it, like, so.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I didn't ask you what would be your least favorite game that you've ever played? What's the worst game you've had an experience playing?
Beautiful Cat of More. No, Get Out. No, so we had 2 weeks to stew on this, and I didn't even really think about it. But if I had to open my Steam library, and I will right now, and look at my library and see things and just look through it. Let me see real quick, because I could pick out a couple.
For me, of most recent memory, like I said last podcast, it's got to be Halo 5. No, Barry. No, it's got to be Halo 5. Just the campaign. Multiplayer seems cool, but like I played, when I had Game Pass on my phone, I played the campaign, and it was just awful. It was terrible. Everything about it was just trash. I can't really think of any. I feel like I never really play games that I'm like, God, I fucking hate this. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, like if I play a game and I'm like, this is fucking dumb, like I just stop. I'm like, all right, that was money wasted. You know, like I'm not gonna power through it. I don't have to rationalize that with me personally, where I'm like, I paid for it, I gotta beat it. But a game that I guess frustrated me, or like what I think was super shitty. And I wouldn't say it's the worst game ever, but I guess a most recent memory, and I love the game, but like, I guess a game that I had the worst experience with because I'm a masochist. And like, now that we're talking about it, this is like a memory that just unlocked in the back of my brain. Would have had to have been the campaign of Call of Duty Black Ops #1, the first one.
Why?
So because I am a masochist, so I have to play every Call of Duty game ever when I play them on veteran difficulty.
Oh, you're the worst. Why would you do that?
So there you go. So I have no one to blame but myself for this. And I vehemently remember I haven't like little kidded out, right? And broken a controller or anything like since I was a child, you know, like, or a fucking, but I swear to God, dude, I was 16, I think, when it was out, or 17. And I had a fucking toddler meltdown on the one Vietnam like mission or whatever, where you're like running down this hill with what's his name, Woods. And I remember the line because he's like, "Oh, let's fucking go, Marines!" And like that's the line in the back of my head. It's just I was like, "Let's go, Marines! Let's go, Marines!" Like I was going nuts.
Come on, motherfuckers!
Like I kept dying, or like I would like converse with the game and be like, "Let's fucking go! You guys are here. Why don't you come with me?" You know, like I was so mad to the point where I remember breaking a 360 controller and being like, "I'm fucking done." And I never finished.
Just breaking your controller. You're like, these numbers, Mason? You like these numbers?
100%. That's exactly how it went. And like, after I toned it down and like took a step back, got the other Xbox controller that I had after like 3 hours, I was like, okay, cool. you know. But like that was the fucking worst experience of my life with video games.
Damn, that's crazy.
But
yeah, Veteran's rough.
But I don't hate it. Like it's not a bad game. I don't even think it really answers the question. You know, like not a bad game.
That's more
but
like what's a hard game you played.
It was my worst experience with a game. I think because
I got that.
like now, dude. Even I'll play games on the hardest difficulty and be like, "Oh, what the fuck, you idiot!" You know, or I'll use it as like a challenge. But like that, like what I didn't really fully appreciate it as a kid. That just ooh. But are you ready for this doozy from your wife?
I have one more, just a quick one from Adrian. He wrote in.
Ooh.
Said, Rainbow Six Siege, because these mofos won't stop DDoSing. If I can't beat them, join them.
That's what you want. Don't do that.
That's all he said.
That's all. Let's leave it at that. Short and sweet to the point.
Yep.
Now Adrian's on a FBI watch list for cyber attacks.
Respect to Adrian.
Big Shout respect. But all right, you ready for the knife in the back from your wife?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So this is from Crystal Jakes, my esteemed co-host's wife. I can smell the betrayal already.
Smell the betrayal.
The title of this email is "This game fucking sucks," and in parentheses, it's like a trigger warning. It says "shocking/emotional."
What is it? A YouTube video?
Yeah, right. Like
this has got like a YouTube headline.
A Shane Dawson apology video. This pains me to read. My least favorite game is Rocket League.
Yep.
Yeah. So you knew that already. So you were aware.
Well, I'm aware of her Rocket League slander because, as you know, I am a pretty big Rocket League fan myself.
I think
so.
Yeah. I think
I don't know what she says.
Oh, it's rough, and it actually personally offends me, some of the content in this email, because of a name drop of a certain other game. But I actually, now that we're talking about it, I kind of personally remember her disdain for this game when we were playing it when I was visiting, and we were like drunk off our asses, being like, "Yeah, we're gonna get the fucking plat." And she's like, "Can you guys fucking stop?" Like,
dude, it's such a such a good, like, relaxing, laid back game.
Oh, I was getting rowdy. I don't know what you mean.
Well, if you're playing competitive, it's not, but
yeah, it's not break your controller on a Vietnam level though. Okay, so my least favorite game is Rocket League. It is actually quite literally the worst game ever.
Jesus.
Maybe it's enjoyable if you have half a brain cell left and need something to stimulate it.
Oh my god.
But other than that, I cannot stand how insanely mindless and repetitive it is. I understand it's supposed to mimic soccer, but if that's the case, I would rather play FIFA, and that's saying something.
She name dropped FIFA. Mad?
I big mad. I feel like I can never take it seriously, and it should have just been a strictly mobile app game.
Damn.
I can imagine a million other ways to spend a solid 6 hours instead of 6 hours straight binging this stupid game like most players do. Why are you coming at us so hard?
Holy shit.
Oh, here we go. Furthermore, writing a college paper. Furthermore, here is a list of some immensely, in a bold italic, immensely better games to consider next time you have the urge to play Rocket League. Number 1, Wii Sports Resort. Number 2, Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu? Oh my god, dude.
Number 3, Shrek Super Slam.
Fucking Shrek Super Slam.
You don't remember Shrek Super Slam?
No, what is that?
It's like a Shrek abortion of a Shrek game that was like Super Smash Bros mixed with Mario Party. Oh my god!
Wait, dude, it's a Mario Party Shrek?
It's like a Shrek Mario Party, like it's like a Shrek minigame thing, but like
it's on DS.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's on Xbox too. Okay.
I gotta look at it. Yeah, but it was like, I'm pretty sure if I remember it, and I don't want to remember it, but I'm pretty sure it was like, yeah, it was like fucking Smash Bros, but with like the Shrek cast. Like
Smash Bros with Shrek. To be fair, that does sound pretty fun.
holy shit, dude! There's so many. I just googled. There's so many characters. There's 30 characters.
30 characters in Shrek Super
I
Smash?
didn't even know that there were that many characters in Shrek.
Yo, Humpty Dumpty looks crazy.
Fiona, not ogre. Fiona, ogre. The gingerbread man. That's crazy.
I have no idea how Crystal knows about this game, but
I think it was kind of like that. You remember that Sneak King, like Burger King game?
wait, what?
You remember that like Sneak King, Burger King game where it was like
Oh yeah, they had Sneak King, and then they had the racing one,
Yeah,
and then there was some other ones. Yeah,
that fucking Burger King video game, like try to be hip shit that came out with like Burger King meals or whatever?
Real talk, Sneak King was not that bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll die on that hill. I had fun with that.
Crystal just messaged me. She said, "I'm the ultimate Shrek fan." So,
I'm proud of her.
which is true. She owns every movie. I can confirm.
Blu-rays, special editions. She was one of those people buying those kid cuisines when Shrek came out with like the green yogurt and shit.
I hope so.
I hope so too. The green ketchup, remember that?
Ew.
Yeah.
But man, holy shit, she came for Rocket League. Yeah, I mean, I play Rocket League. I'll binge it from time to time. Like I binged it on my Switch for a while and put like 20 hours into it like a month ago. And she'll just roast me. She'll be like, "Why are you playing that game?" And I'm like, "It's fun. Like, come on. Like, it's soccer, but you're like Hot Wheels. It's fucking awesome."
She's like, "Yeah, I like how she said you have half a brain cell and need to stimulate it."
Yeah, she straight came for my brain cells. That's
the brain cell, half of a brain cell.
Holy shit, that was hilarious.
Rough. Anyway, yeah. So, question for next week, you esteemed listeners. What do you think is the biggest gaming plot twist of all time? And of course, in your emails, warn for spoilers. And we will do the same next week. I feel like we might get a lot of the same. I know. Do you want to just answer our questions right now for it, or save it for next week?
Yeah, we can do that right now. I have one already in my mind.
Say, if you want to just take the rug out from under the listeners, because I can do the same thing. Just take two of the biggest ones that we already know that I think are the biggest ones, and just like be like, nope, can't use those ones. Like,
yeah. I don't know if this will be one that is selected, but Modern Warfare 2. Come on, Shepard. That's
a good one.
Yeah, when he lights you and Ghost on fire. And they shoot you, right? And then they throw you.
He shoots
and
you
then
like the chest, and then shoots Ghost in the chest, and then like you guys get knocked over, and then they stack your dying bodies on top of each other and just light you on fire.
And you're just laying there on fire, just watching Shepard walk away.
That's the death cam, is just watching him get on this Chinook helicopter while you're fucking burning to death. Like,
so good, dude. Yeah, that's the one that came straight to my mind. I couldn't really think of many other twists. I'm sure there's some. But...
So I've got two, and I would say one might not. A lot of people might not. It might not resonate with a lot of people. Because I don't know how many people played them. I know I'm a fucking Star Wars nerd, but there is one from Knights of the Old Republic. And then the other one I'll talk about after that. But
I think you talked about that like
I did.
recently
on
the podcast.
So like I would say spoilers, but again, same with the Modern Warfare 2 one. Like it's been
how many years? You haven't played Modern Warfare 2, you can fuck off.
Yeah, like so the ending of Knights of the Old Republic. So the whole thing is you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a Jedi, and you get like attacked on a Republic ship, and the Jedi pick you up. They're like, hey man, you want to be a Jedi? Cool, let's train you. And then you go to fight the big bad guy, and Darth Malak. He's like, oh, you don't remember? And you have these flashbacks throughout the game, or visions, they call them force visions. But turns out they're just memories, because you were actually Darth Revan the entire time. Your mind got wiped, so you were the bad guy the entire time.
That's dope. That's so cool.
Then, it gets revealed, and then you actually get a choice at the end of the game where you're like, oh fuck, I am the bad guy, and then just switch sides from light side to dark side, or be like, no, I'm saved. But I know one that fucking rocked me to my core the first time I played it. Besides that, was BioShock.
Yeah, and we touched on that. Yeah.
the would you kindly, the fucking that was
For sure.
Congratulations, the character got played and you got played by a video game.
Another one that I just thought of. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil this game. But Jedi Fallen Order.
That
There's
is a
a
good
twist in there. Yeah, that
one.
was
Yeah.
good. But I don't want to say anything because that game needs to be played by everyone.
Yeah, I don't think we
So
should spoil that one. But if you haven't played it yet and you're in the process of playing it, just know that there's a rough twist at the end. There's a rough twist in general. I don't really know when it was kind of at the end.
Yeah.
It was like 80% of the way. But yeah, so be prepared for that. But yeah, so go ahead, superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Send us in your answers. What do you think the biggest gaming plot twist of all time was? Again, please let us know if there's spoilers, because there are some things we are playing right now. A lot of it's older stuff, so you wouldn't really surprise us. But we'll make sure to let people know.
Do your best. Like if the game is sort of recent, just don't put any spoilers, because we'll probably won't read it for people.
You could just straight up email us like the game, be like, "Hey, it's my biggest plot twist ever was this game," and then leave us wondering, like,
Right.
But if it's recent or most recent, we probably won't say it. But if it's relatively like a couple years, we might talk about it and just let you know ahead of time next week and leave like a timestamp of like when to skip in the description of like, hey, if you don't want this ruined, skip here. But
if you write in, you're like, yeah, the plot twist in the end of Outriders is like, no, I'm not gonna read that.
Yeah, we're not gonna read that. I'm gonna delete the email. Not to be confused with that mountain biking game.
Descenders.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
What the fuck was what was that Spyro shit? Skylanders too? Outriders, Descenders, Skylanders, the trifecta.
What a game that would be.
All right, let's talk about some news, because it wasn't, I would say, a super duper. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There are a lot of things.
I cut like one thing out of here because it didn't really matter anymore, because we're like a week and a half removed. Yeah. This first thing though is the MLB The Show 2021 is a day one Game Pass game. I'm sure everyone has heard about this shit by now. If you didn't, and if you don't know why this is a big deal, MLB The Show has always been developed by a Sony company. I think it's Sony San Diego.
Yeah.
And it's published by Sony as well. And it's always been PlayStation exclusive. And this is the first year that MLB The Show is not going to be exclusive, and it's actually going on Xbox. But so that was crazy to begin with.
Not only Xbox, Game Pass. Like, it's not going to be just available on Xbox. It's a day one Game Pass as soon as it comes out. So
when it drops on Xbox, it will be free to play on Game Pass, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it's crazy because of the developer conversation, and you can hit on why it's important, but I think it is crazy so much is like, well, I think it's not so crazy, not the shock of like the developer choices or the publishers, but the shock of like, or the not shock, I guess, of how that seems to be like kind of with a lot of these like streaming platforms, I guess you would call it, because like Game Pass or like Ubisoft, whatever, Uplay Plus is whatever it was, like a lot of games that came out from those publishers were like that if they were solely developed by that company, right? Like it wasn't just like we're porting old games that you can play for free if you own the service. It's like, I know Battlefield 5, for instance, was one of them, where it was like if you had EA, whatever the fuck, it sours my mouth to talk about the company, but whatever that, what was it? EA fucking.
They call it EA Play now.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. But that or the previous, the artist formerly known as EA Play, Battlefield 5. If you bought the like EA Play subscription for like that, even if you used the first free month, you were getting Battlefield 5, the deluxe edition, right off the rip. And then if you bought the game after you stopped using that, or if you kept using it, your progress continued, right? It was the same file in the cloud. So that was a cool incentive to have that. But like those publishers that are putting those out, like Uplay Plus or like EA Play, like that's not so new, but it's seeming to become like the weird standard, I think, for like publishers like becoming like self-aware or like owning their content, really.
Yeah, everyone's getting their own like service now, and if they're
Yeah.
not, I mean, look, like EA has EA Play, but also their games are now on Game Pass, which is I don't understand what they're doing there, but
Yeah. Losing money, like
yeah, I don't know. Well, they must be getting money from Microsoft for that deal, but they
yeah,
might as well just close down EA Play. But well, EA Play goes on PlayStation though, so maybe they have some sort of market on there.
they're cornering both markets because they're a shitty company and they like money.
Yeah,
I still have not had
true.
my account resolved, so that's why I'm still sour. It's been a month and a half.
God. One thing that when this story broke, I mean, I messaged you that day. I was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
But since this broke, Sony actually commented on it, and basically they said this is being published on Game Pass by MLB themselves and not them. So I guess that's how this deal happened. MLB, so they wanted to take it to other platforms, aka Xbox. I don't know if it's going on PC. I'm not sure. Cannot confirm or deny, but
I don't know.
um,
I know that I'm pretty sure all of the sports titles by EA are on PC except for NHL for whatever reason. Like I
well,
know that
this
you can
one,
play 2K, like NBA, on Steam right now or on Origin.
yeah, I just don't know about MLB the Show because it's a completely different thing. But basically, so MLB is publishing the Xbox version. So in a way, they can do whatever they want with it, I guess. I don't know a lot about this shit, but from the way I understand it, is MLB's like, yeah, we're publishing it, so you know what? We're gonna strike a deal with Game Pass and put it on Game Pass, and Sony can't do anything about it because I mean they own the
That's yeah.
IP, but their studio develops it. It's a weird situation, but what I was freaking out about is like, man, this opens the door for like so much stuff, like Sony games going on Game Pass. Like this is so crazy. You can get God of War, Ratchet and Clank. Like no, that's not
No,
gonna happen.
no,
The
that's
reason it's happening is because of MLB. That's why it's happening.
it's an independent publisher. Well, yeah, and it's MLB's. I wouldn't say intellectual property. It's MLB's straight up property. Like they own the teams and stuff. But
Yeah, no, if MLB doesn't exist, this game doesn't exist. So.
yeah, I think so. I don't know if it was a toxic deal, or if it was like a straight up just 3-way handshake between MLB and Sony's. Like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like we'll publish it. Like I think Sony. I don't know if they're like if people are sleeping on them or if Sony's sleeping on themselves. Like because they've been taking, I guess, what you could assume or what appear to be like hard L's across the board for like
Bro,
independent games.
Sony has been asleep at the wheel in general for a
Yeah.
while. Like with everything except for games. Like their exclusive games last year, they had a banger year of games, but like they had The Last of Us 2 last year, but
Yeah.
in terms of services and just being a company overall, they're just like lacking so hard compared to Xbox. It's so lame. Like I feel like they just don't give a fuck. I mean, they make great games. That's how they're still like in it. That's how they're still in the game, but I just feel like they got to do more. They are taking a lot of L's, like you said.
Yeah. Well, so I think they're taking a lot of L's in the American market because I know that Sony, regardless, has a fucking gigantic presence in Asia still to this day. I mean, Japan for starters, but like that's just our viewpoint. Like, right? Like they're taking L's for the American market, which is probably up there in terms of like number of consumers. But I know Japan, obviously, Sony still got their floating flagship headquarters reigning over Japan. So like those cool games, and I should have probably talked more about it with X last podcast, but like there's a lot of like Japanese games that like are getting ported to America finally or getting exported to America finally.
Like Persona and shit like
Yeah,
that.
or getting made available. So that's maybe where they're making up some of the losses, but for the ratio of players that are interested in those Japanese games / RPGs or whatever, like Japanese content, as opposed to the dudes and chicks and guys, gals, non-binary pals, everybody, people in general, right, that are interested in just the accessibility that Microsoft offers. I think that's totally where Sony's taken these, this appearance of L's, because, like, I mean, if you just look at it from the surface, dude, like if there was the biggest power move that Microsoft could do right now, just to give Sony the biggest middle finger, and I think we've talked about it, was like if they just bought Konami and be like, guess what? Metal Gear Solid is an Xbox exclusive now. So
yeah, that would be insane. And there have been rumblings about Kojima and Xbox striking a deal or something like that, right?
I forgot to put it in the doc. I was reading it from, I think it was Games Radar, just like perusing the news as we do as game journalists. But yeah, Kojima's in talks with Microsoft for his next, or Kojima Studios, I guess Kojima in general, but is in talks with Microsoft for his next independent title to be a Microsoft exclusive, which would work out.
That would be insane
great for me either way, because I have it on PC, right? Which means it would be released to PC immediately. So that would be cool for me as a consumer, because Death Stranding, I didn't play on PlayStation because I was like, I was in that transition period, and then when it released on PC and I got to play it, and then they dumped a bunch of mod support and stuff too, like it made the game a little bit better, which again, I will die on that hill. I love Death Stranding. It's probably one of my favorite games. But having one of my favorite developers, Kojima, like in Microsoft's back pocket where everything's on Steam, like, shit, man. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing, best of both worlds, because Xbox is like player friendly like that. It's like, yeah, you can play this shit on PC too. You can play this shit on your phone too. Like, and that's the thing. They're very pro consumer with most things they do. So, I mean, I don't know. Sony needs to.
Sucks, 'cause I love Sony, but like they gotta pop it in gear, man. Like, especially after like losing immense amounts of money recently with the fucking just like the next gen console fiascos, with just how hard it is to get a next gen console. I know Sony dropped the ball super duper hard on that.
Yeah, they definitely did. What I was gonna say is they're being anti-consumer, and I made this fire transition into the next story.
It works because of the fact they're closing down
the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita stores.
Confirmed.
Yes, so they're closing that down. PSP and PS3 is on July 2nd. PS Vita is on August 27th. Everything you purchase will always be downloadable again, but you will never be able to buy something from the store ever again. I mean, pretty straightforward. That sucks for anyone that plays these platforms at all. But
I mean, the only thing that I have played on PS3 that I still play and have sitting behind me on a shelf for all of the people who watch my streams to enjoy is my PlayStation 3 and the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, which was such a pain in the ass to get my hands on. So there's that. But that's the only reason I own a PS3.
I mean, well, if you have something on the store you want to buy, buy it before July 2nd. Yeah, last podcast we talked about this being a rumor, but now it's officially confirmed. And they have not said anything about porting anything or backing anything up or bringing anything to PS4 or 5 or nothing.
Why would they? I don't even think that not that they shouldn't, because they definitely should, but I feel like their point of view from that is they won't port anything to PS4 because PS4, to be honest, is like almost at the end of its life cycle. Maybe not so much because of availability, like it's extremely hard to get your hands on a PS5, as I've stated multiple times. We talked about in the first ever episode. But like I don't think that they would see that as cost effective to do that. Now,
Well,
for next gen, they could totally do that. They could port something to 5, or like just port like a PS3 archive of like things that were available on PS3. Not just like major end titles, like the Modern Warfares or whatever the hell, but like actual PS3 exclusives. Sure, I could see that happening, but I wouldn't cross my fingers or hold my breath.
I think the solution would be PlayStation Now if they would actually, I don't, somehow figure out how to not have to stream PS3 games.
Mirror, like they would have a cloud server almost like Game Pass. They would have to mirror the same product that Game Pass is. Game Pass. Look at that, it's a pun. That Game Pass is, where it's an actual game that you redeem, download, add to your library, and play because it is
Yes.
a actual data on your storage device, hard drive, SSD, whatever the hell you have running, as opposed to streaming it, because streaming in general, if it's not a Netflix, oh my god, I can't speak. If it's not like a Netflix title, streaming games that require your reaction time, like a consumable item, like a video game that requires you to be in the zone, streaming that does not work. I will die on that hill as well, because of the fact that it's just there's no industry standard for that. Like, yes, they're like, hey, you should have this type of internet, you should have this, but like you're almost making that an exclusive service, because like, say somebody has average internet but they really like it. Sorry, ma'am. Have fun streaming it at 480p. Like it's
Exactly. Exactly. And my internet really is not that great. And when I try to stream stuff on PS Now, it just does not work. It's just awful. And it's only the PS3 games though. You can download PS2 games, you can download PS4 games, and I don't know if they're bringing PS5, but I'm sure it's going to be the same thing, but I feel like that would be the solution, but again, with the PS3 thing, they fucked themselves with PS3 games.
So maybe that's their plan then, because PS1, PS2 games that you can download from PS Now are obviously way past their life cycle, right? But with this,
for sure,
with this next decision they've made to close down these stores, maybe, hopefully, a girl can dream that that's their next step, is they're just going to port these PS3 titles to the cloud storage and be like, all right, you can now download these IPs. Like, you can download these games and have them stored. But they were, I guess, holding off on it because there was still apparently a market for the PS3 store and PSP. Like, those titles were still able to be bought, purchased, and played on a PS3 system.
yeah.
So like, maybe that's their plan. I don't know.
I don't know, and honestly, I'm not even confident in saying they have a plan.
Yeah, I don't.
I feel like they're just kind of throwing it to the trash.
I am not a representative of Sony at all, so I don't know what.
No, me neither.
I cannot speak for the company. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, what their plan is, but that's what I would hope they would do, at least from a consumer standpoint. Somebody that utilizes those will be like, hey, that'd be pretty cool, and it would probably save a lot of face with a lot of people who might, at this point in the game, be jumping ship to go to Microsoft. But
yeah, maybe.
Oh, well, speaking of that being a leak and then confirmed, let's talk about more leaks that hopefully will be confirmed.
I think I'm pretty confident in it.
Yeah, our inside man seems to this guy, before we break the story, this guy is usually the one that does leak news about this particular title, right?
Yeah, apparently. That's what I hear. That's what I've read, that this is like a common known leaker of Battlefield information.
So there it is.
He's been firing off about Battlefield 6, and he's getting me really excited.
And then EA fired back and clapped back with spaghetti.
Yeah,
that was
so weird
tweet that you ever sent me.
But yeah, so this is all leaks, nothing confirmed. I'm just gonna run through all this. Per sources, this is from Tom Henderson, the Battlefield leaker.
The leaker.
Per sources, I can confirm that the next Battlefield installment will simply be called Battlefield and takes place around 10 years from now. Expect military robots, drones, jets, helicopters, tanks, and that sort of thing. Multiplayer will feature bigger and better battles and is described as Battlefield 3/4 on steroids, with a battle royale also on the way at some stage.
Oh, God damn it.
He says, things to note, Battle Royale will be free to play, unlike Firestorm. A Battle Pass is also rumored to be implemented, which it definitely will be.
It's EA, come on.
Yeah. Players will still be able to play as the 4 different types of soldiers, but instead of just having unique gadgets, players will also have different abilities, which are similar to Call of Duty perks. For example, a scout soldier might have silent footsteps, whereas an assault soldier might be able to sprint for a longer duration. So all of this stuff is not like groundbreaking leaks, but like I'm down with all of this, I guess. Battle Royales, take it or leave it, but
actually, so I was talking shit about Battle Royales, but I actually really liked Firestorm when we played it. I played it for like 4 games with you, and that was the last time I played it. But I actually had a pretty decent time when we played it because it was set in a Battlefield-esque style, like, which I guess technically I'd say Firestorm walked so fucking Warzone could run. Honestly, like,
honestly, yeah, no, Firestorm was cool, but everyone dropped off of it very quick.
Yeah,
and they didn't really support it because no one was playing it because it wasn't free. I feel like if you make a battle royale these days, it has to be free, or else like what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, like a dice engine type deal, battle royale where it's free to play. I feel like would probably bring a lot of Battlefield players back to the map, like back to the game, just because. Let's be honest, 5 was hyped and we were excited, and then 5 just kind of shit the bed. With that Pacific leak that never really happened until way later.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was deployed and we were playing it, and we were like, "Oh shit, dude!" Like it had that like, what were they, like events or whatever, where you would like complete challenges throughout a week or 2 weeks, and it was like Road to the Pacific, and we were like, "Oh fuck, it's coming out in May," and then like it happened like a year later or whatever. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Like I forgot about it. I got an email from EA before, obviously I blacklisted them. Where it was like new Pacific update, and I was like, dude, it's been a whole fucking year. Like, can you just drop it, man? Like, nobody wants it anymore.
By the time they added the Pacific stuff, I was way out of Battlefield 5. But this game's sounding more promising. As long as if it's like Battlefield 3 or 4, like I'm down. I'm so down. That's
like,
all you gotta say to me.
That's all I've wanted. From what I understand, I'm pretty sure that 3 and 4 actually still have pretty vehement player bases because of still supported. Like people still play them,
especially on PC. You can still go on those games and play.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know like console support, like obviously just like you got like 30 people online, but like the PC servers are like bumping, man. Like
for sure,
because people like it. I mean, that's what they want.
And they aged very well too. They're both still great games. So
yeah, they still look really good. Like, but anyway,
I think
I am excited for a new Battlefield.
Me too. And hopefully the Battle Royale,
like maybe
the Battle Royale, I feel like is going to be more fleshed out than Firestorm was.
Yeah.
I just feel like they've been spending a lot more time and care in this Battlefield than they have in a long time. So hopefully it turns out good. I think it will. I mean, you got Criterion on this shit too, so
yeah,
that's awesome. But
remember that time I predicted what Battlefield 1 was going to be before they released it?
Did you?
I did. You showed me. We got the 3-second trailer of the guy looking up. I was like, "Yeah, that's a hat from World War One. He's probably looking at a blimp. World War One was crazy." And then a week later,
the teaser.
Yeah.
And he was looking at a big ass blimp, wasn't he?
Yep, I called that shit. Thank you.
Wow.
History knowledge. Anyway, no, I hope that this goes the way it's supposed to go. And EA, if you're listening, which I highly doubt it, maybe you are because you know who I am and you know that I am very upset with you. Maybe you should talk about crossplay for this Battlefield, huh? We're in the next generation of consoles. It's not that hard. Call of Duty did it.
Oh, dude, I guarantee there's going to be crossplay. If they don't, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I hope so. So then we could play together. God damn it! Get those squad ups going.
Get those YouTube compilations going again.
Hell yeah!
But oh man, I'll read this because this just makes me angry still. So
Why?
where's Spider-Man?
Oh.
Outriders has already tripled the Avengers player peak count on Steam, as well as surpassing Borderlands 2 and 3, their all-time high concurrent players, which is fucking insane because this game came out, it's the same with Valheim. It came out like a week ago, I want to say.
It came out, by now it's like a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks now, but
what's crazy is it's just a random IP out of nowhere, and it is fucking blowing up, dude.
Which is, I guess, kind of the same thing that fucking Apex did, too. They were just like, here you go. And people were like, oh, shit. And it kind of took off. So, like, maybe that's the move, man. Just start dropping IPs and don't say shit and be like, you want to play it? Play it. Here you go. And people are like, all right, cool. So why compare these two? Because they're both made by Square Enix. And they're both, unfortunately, looter shooters in the form of kill enemy, get blue item. Kill enemy, get purple item, purple better than blue, get gold item, gold better than purple, and so on and so forth.
So
in the same light as the Division or whatever.
Yeah, that applies to Outriders and Avengers. They're both published by Square Enix, both looters. Borderlands 2 and 3 is a separate thing, but
same stylized loot shoot, pick up, equip, different colored thing that's better. So Outriders had 109,000 peak players on its launch day, which is pretty high for Steam.
It's fucking high.
Avengers had 28,000 across all platforms.
Was it? I don't know. I think that was only on Steam.
Either way, that's not a surprise. Maybe they had more people on Sony on PlayStation because they were like, "Yay, Spider-Man!" which I was one of them, and then I got angry. So this actually does show exactly how well that Outriders was marketed, though, and how much fucking demos do for games. Please bring back demos. I remember as a child getting demo discs in the mail, and thank God, name drop Funhouse, that like we kind of have moved back to that of like playable demos, and like we're moving from early access more into, hey, this is a demo of the game. It's kind of timed. You like it? Cool. This is basically what it's like. Like we should go back to that, I think.
Yeah, that's what Outriders did. They had a demo and everyone was playing it. I still haven't played it at all.
I haven't either. I've heard good things. I've heard great things from the stream team, the other guys in the Discord that have played it.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty fun, which unfortunately is par for the course for most looter shooters. Everyone's like, oh, it's great. And then like 2 weeks go by and they're like, it's the same game.
Yep. I always fall off of looter shooters. That's why I'm not like going crazy about it.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the content, like I went nuts for the Division, but that's just because I liked what the game was about. I liked the story, which is insane to say about a looter shooter, but here I am. Tom Clancy is my boy.
I'll go hard on Borderlands too.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, Borderlands has pretty solid multiplayer support, whether it's split screen or like online. So, but point made about their marketing, counterpoint, it shows exactly how fucking poor they did with the Avengers launch and its marketing, which is insane to me because you had the backing of fucking Disney and a Marvel.
You had the backing of the Avengers. You had the IP already. Like, what the fuck?
What are you doing? It's crazy. I think it's Square Enix in general, because I know that they didn't really market fucking Final Fantasy 15 at all. And it was only when it came to PC for the Windows version that 15 blew up, because they were like, all right, it's on PC now and it's on sale. And it just fucking went bonkers for Final Fantasy 15. But maybe it's time we give Outriders a try. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, at least I think the demo, you can still just play the demo. I think I'm gonna give that a try before I spend money on it. Yeah,
of course. So I think a likewise title to Outriders that is most recently, or what I can most recently like compare it to, would be. Did you hear anything about Remnant from the Ashes not too long ago? It was like a 4-player fucking.
That just came to. That was on That was free on PlayStation Plus last month. I have it. I own it
So
now.
yeah, so it's like third-person looter
Haven't
shooter
played it, but
mixed with Dark Souls, where like enemies get scaled harder with multiplayer. But it's so like anything with same stylized gameplay with a little story. You know, same thing with Destiny, where it's like, look at all this lore, and you're like, I don't care. Give me the next colored weapon. But maybe that's the direction we're going with over-the-shoulder third-person games, is looter shooters that people are playing. I don't know. Maybe that's where we're headed, I guess.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know, but it's impressive what Outriders has done so far. I knew about it when it was coming out, but I did not expect it to be such a big hit.
I didn't hear anything about it until, which wasn't saying that they're well, it wasn't saying that their marketing was bad. It didn't like hit me because I wasn't looking. You know, I wasn't in the market for searching for new games. I was playing stuff that I was already attached to. But it hit everybody around me, like the stream buddies or guys in the Discord. They were like, "Yo, you want to pick up Outriders?" I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, what? And they linked it, and I was like, "Oh,
is that the mountain biking game?"
Yeah, fuck you. But no, like they linked it, and I like started watching the video, and it was like, play the demo, and I was like, yeah, I'll download it. And I never touched it, but like it's definitely something I see myself being interested in or having a good time with. Right now, currently, which I'll talk about in the next news break, which I know your boy's going to be upset about, but I don't see myself picking up new games anytime soon. Recently, because I just did that, but I think maybe later on when it goes on a like release sale, probably by Christmas or maybe beforehand in the summer, like a Steam summer sale, when they're like Outriders is $30 right now. You know, I'll be like, cool, I'll pick it up and play it for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all that video gaming is really anymore, right? It's just like an amusement park, and you're just waiting for tickets to go on sale. Like, I'll play it for 3 hours and play it for 3 hours and put it down. Like,
God, I do that all the time. I buy too many games.
I have 200 games in my Steam library, and I religiously play like maybe 10. But speaking of Steam library, just kidding. It's actually the Epic Game Store, which I haven't used in a hot minute. Kingdom Hearts. Hey, how's it going? We're back again. Finally, after I'm gonna make you feel old, or make me feel old. After almost 20 years, has been ported to PC through the Epic Game Stores. And I'll read this from Ben Hestad from TVOverMine.com, which sounds like a really reputable news source. It's not so. It's more of like an opinion piece. But so it was first released on March 28th, 2002. Kingdom Hearts has finally made its way onto PC. The series, so beloved by fans, again, sorry to insult your email boy, across the globe and various platforms, is now coming to one of the biggest gaming platforms of all time. That's right, Kingdom Hearts has finally made its way onto PC. As of March 30th, 2021, the entire Kingdom Hearts collection is available on the Epic Game Store, which is a compilation of roughly 12 games. And that's including games that were previously available on just about every platform, except for PC, such as PlayStation 2, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, PSP, 3DS, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Android, iOS, Switch, and a fucking game that was available through a browser game. It was insane. On everything except for PC, but now it is. So I have a funny story regarding this, and I had cash to burn, so it's kind of where the story came from, because as soon as I didn't hear anything about this at all. I didn't follow anything. I wasn't looking for it. I was content with my capture card setup that I had for my PS4, and setting up the TV on the desk, and going through the whole process of doing it for the stream. Or before, like I said about that Metal Gear Solid shit, when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 4, trying to stream stuff with RPC3, I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1, or 1.5, whatever the re-release of it was, like with the better graphics, on RPCS3. I was emulating a PlayStation 2 game or PlayStation 3 game on my computer. Now I don't have to, but so the Epic Game Store listed it. I got the email. It was like Kingdom Hearts available on PC. I was like, what the fuck? Like, where was I? So I downloaded the Epic Game Store launcher because I haven't used that since, I think, Metro Exodus before it came to Steam, or Fortnite, I want to say. So did that, but the store wasn't really super user friendly, because you would think, right, such a big release such as this, which everyone's been waiting for, there would just be a bundle, right? Like all of Kingdom Hearts for this price, get all the games.
Yeah.
Because it's broken up into 3 main titles, right? Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, which is one title, 2.5 Remix, which is all of the other games, like the mobile games and stuff, or not mobile games, the handheld games, but they're scaled up obviously for console. And then Kingdom Hearts 3, which I actually played through and own for console, but I figured why not again? But there's no bundle, right, in the Epic Store. So I'm like looking at it, and they had like a crazy release sale for it. They were like, everything's on sale. So Kingdom Hearts 3 was like $40 as opposed to 60. So I was like, all right, I'll pick them all up. So I bought 1.5, 2.5, the remix, and then 3 all at the same time, but also separately, like in 3 transactions, because that's how the Epic Store did it. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Immediately, I get a phone call from my bank, from USAA, and they're like, what the fuck's going on? The same charge happened 3 times. And I was like, and you have to understand, I am almost a 30-year-old man, right? I had to explain to this nice lady over the phone that it was not a fraudulent credit card charge, but it was me, a grown-ass, almost 30-year-old man, having to explain to this woman, I'm a man-child and I want to play the Disney anime games, basically. Like, that's how that went. Even to the point where I told my wife, I was like, hey, I'm going to buy Kingdom Hearts on PC because they're all out. She was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, why did it come out 3 times? And I was like, oh, honey, you don't understand. So that was fun. I haven't played them yet. I'm actually going to be streaming them tomorrow, I think, after work, or Saturday. I don't really know yet. I'm the worst streamer in the world. I don't have a schedule. But
Same with our podcast.
Yeah, same with the podcast, which is wild card, bitches.
Yeah, for real.
But so really though, this is one of the most amazing experiences, which is a complete shit on the email we got. But this is my point of view from it. It's weird because when you think of Kingdom Hearts, the first thing that comes to mind is Disney, and the story goes with it, like why it came to be was a Disney exec and an executive from Square Enix that worked on Final Fantasy happened to be in an elevator together in Japan, and they just started talking. Crazy. Yeah, and they were just like, hey, we should make a game about this. Like, you know what? We probably should. And then that was it. Like, that's how it goes. But it also doesn't help the fact that it took almost 17 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out after 1 was released in 2002. So the fan base is big, and the fan base knows how to wait, right? But yeah, I'm going to be streaming that probably this weekend as soon as I can, as soon as I get the chance. But no, that's...
Well, I don't know when this comes out, but go check out Superpixels Weekly. Or Superpixels Weekly. Oh my god, Pixels and Pints on Twitch.
Both.
Not our podcast, but
on Twitch. Start streaming the podcast, what we should do.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that's really it for that, because it just broke. It's not really too much recently because it was the 30th when it came out, but
yeah, that's super random though that it just dropped out of nowhere. That's cool.
Maybe they marketed it pretty hard, but I literally didn't. I had to Google it because somebody was like, "Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts came out." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
Yeah. What have you been playing?
Oh god, I'm sorry. I was drinking water. So the biggest thing that I have been playing is It Takes Two. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. I love it. Me and Chris have been playing it. It's a co-op game where you're like a wife and a husband, and you guys are getting a divorce, and
Jesus.
Your daughter makes like dolls out of you, and then what happens is you guys somehow become, I mean, you see it happen, but I don't want to spoil anything. You become the dolls, and then the way to become human again is you have to work together and like you're working together through all these problems, like in real life, like all these things you're running into as these little dolls, like you're running into like
Okay.
squirrels that are trying to kill you, shit like that, like
Okay.
vacuum cleaners, all these things. They have really cool creative levels, but you're working together and you're trying to rekindle your love and not be divorced. And then once you do that, you will become human again. It'll be back to normal, but we haven't beat it yet. But
so would you say that like some of those levels might be allegories for potentially? I feel like it's an art piece, really, is what it is. It's like for just like how divorce affects kids, and like maybe some of the levels are allegories, or like the obstacles that you face would potentially be allegories for how a divorce might go. Like squirrels might represent something or some shit, or like the vacuum cleaners, how much it sucks to get divorced. I don't know.
maybe I don't know, but I don't think I don't know. That sounds like some big brain connections right there. I haven't
Big brain dots getting connected.
Yeah, but it's really cool though. Like I don't want to talk about it too much like in detail because I want people to go and play this, especially you. Go play it with your wife. It's so fun. Like
I should get her on board.
Play it.
Do a stream. Do
like
a marriage stream. I don't know. It's made by
she will be on board. It's great.
I guarantee you she will. It's made by the dudes that made A Way Out, you said though, right? Which I fucking loved.
Yes, same team that made A Way Out, same team that made that Brothers game. I don't know if you ever played that.
Tale of Two Brothers, or
Yes. And the creator, who is Joseph Ferris, who
the fuck
people
the
may
Oscars
know.
Guy.
Yeah, the fuck the Oscars guy from was it Video Game Awards, I think?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the mind behind these games, and he's fucking awesome, dude. He literally was like, I'm so confident people will like It Takes Two. If you don't like this game, I will pay you $1,000. And then he was like, if you don't like It Takes Two, you can punch me in the face.
So it's safe to say that you and your wife will not be receiving $1,000 from him.
No, I am not. There is like the game does have like the only problem I have with it is like some dialogue is kind of corny.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
other than that, like
that's probably what you get with a game that's kind of like, I wouldn't say marketed, but like almost that's the theme, right? It's maybe corny kid type, like love story ish type deal. So I mean I wouldn't say that that's a big turn off though, honestly.
No, and it's not. It's still great, and there's still funny moments, and God, it's so fun. Like every level is very different than the next, and like every level is they introduce different mechanics, and you're doing all these different things, and the boss fights are super fun. You have to work together to defeat the bosses and stuff. It's so fun, man. I highly recommend it. I genuinely think it's probably so far it's like one of the best co-op games I've ever played, if not the best. I'll have to see, but
that's a thing that's actually coming back, I think, too. It's just co-op or couch co-op / like split screen style games, because like I didn't play A Way Out at all until recently with a buddy of mine from the Discord, Stu, and that's because we were like, oh, it's like $8 on Steam, whatever, and like we played it, and like A Way Out fucking destroyed me emotionally. I was like, what the fuck?
So and Crystal, we never finished it, unfortunately.
Oh no! Do you?
And I know
talk about it real quick.
We want to just go back and play it again.
But I won't ruin it. I kind of want to
please
ruin
don't,
it.
because no, because I want to play it one day. I swear, I want to play it.
I won't, but like we sat there. We were like video chatting through Discord, and like we were looking at, like we were both like mouth agape, like at the end, just because of like I almost cried. I was like, what the fuck, like it was rough. It was good.
That's
it was
awesome.
Like good rough though. Like it fucked me up. And you got attached to these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like you get invested in that story because you start learning all about their lives and everything. So like it's good. I would definitely recommend, like, after you guys finish It Takes Two, maybe go through it again, because A Way Out you could blast through in like 5 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, it's a short game. I think It Takes Two is about like 10 hours from what I've heard. So
yeah, Stu and I finished A Way Out in 2 days, and that's just because we took a break. Like we played 4 hours and then like 3 hours the next day. Like it was good though.
Yeah.
I need you to finish it though, so we can talk about how fucking emotionally draining it is.
Well, once we finish It Takes Two, maybe we'll go back and play that.
Yeah. All right. Well then, perfect.
Yeah.
I actually because you're married, I need to know when you guys do that, just because of how the game ends. But
Okay.
Borderlands 3, looting and shooting, eh?
Yeah. So, well, honestly, going back to a lot of what we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 and PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now was $1 for a month, so I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I bought it, and I was kind of hopping between games, just like downloading stuff, just trying to. I don't know. I was just enjoying the service that is provided, except for the streaming aspect.
Just vibing.
Yeah. And like 2 days ago, they were like, "Hey, Avengers and Borderlands 3 are coming to PlayStation Now. Oh, and The Long Dark." And I was like, "Damn." I was like, "That's a good drop." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Damn, do I play Borderlands 3 or Avengers?"
Borderlands 3.
So yeah, I went with Borderlands 3 because I've never played it. Dude, I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's very fun. It's Borderlands classic,
It's
honestly.
funny, it's corny, it's kind of vulgar.
Yes.
Like it's just a fun game to play. It's funny. I've
Yeah,
actually never
everything.
played it all the way through. I've played it a little bit. My favorite Borderlands game was Borderlands 2 though, because of all the DLCs. But
Yeah, two was sick. I didn't play the
solid.
DLCs, but I did play the whole base game.
Tiny Tina's fucking Keep, the Dungeons and Dragons fucking DLC was fucking hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, some of the dialogue in Borderlands 3 is just fantastic.
It's pretty raunchy. I love it. Yeah. It's my kind of yokes.
Yeah. Other than that, last thing I played while we were gone is Ratchet and Clank 2016. I finally finished it up, beat it, it's in the bag. Super fun. It's like classic Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
The only thing is like the thing that sucks is they tied it in with that damn movie,
Yeah.
and it that's where it lacks, is it tries to fit the narrative of that movie, and the cutscenes. Some of the cutscenes are rendered in the game, and then some are from the movie. So it's like you get really good looking cutscenes, and then like lesser looking cutscenes. It's just weird, and I feel like the way they went about, because this is a reboot of the first game, and
Straight up. I actually didn't know that.
yeah, so it's a complete reboot of the first Ratchet and Clank from like 2002 or whatever. And so Ratchet and Clank, they meet each other in this game, but I feel they become best friends in like 2 seconds. Like it's not like they don't like build a relationship.
I remember the first game, Ratchet and Clank, was like they were friends out of necessity. Like they hated each other in the beginning. I want to say like he was like, "Get the fuck off me, robot!" Like
I don't remember, but I just find it weird how they did it in this game.
They probably rushed it, of course, to align with the movie release, which was like a lot of video game games that came out with movies. But no, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure the beginning of the first like ever Ratchet and Clank in like the 2000s, early 2000s was like straight up like Clank got tossed down to wherever Ratchet was and like hit him in the head, like falling from the sky, and he was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like, so like they did not like each other, but.
Well,
anyway.
in this one, they just like they meet each other and then like boom, they're like attached to each other. And
hey, what's up, bro? You want to be the godfather of my kids? We just met 10 minutes ago.
right, literally. But the guns in that game are so fun. The fucking disco ball gun, and the pixelizer is just awesome.
My god, is the I think I can't remember what it's called. Is the Rhino in it? Is that what it was?
So the Rhino is in it, but you have to collect Rhino cards to get it. I have not done that. But yeah, I want to. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it because there's still some stuff I can go and clean up.
Yeah.
I'm not confident that I'm going to do that. Because I beat the story. I'm kind of, I don't know, a bit fatigued on the Ratchet and Clank. I wish I could play the new one coming out, but it's only on PS5, which sucks. But
hard to find.
I hope everyone that gets it enjoys it. It looks amazing. I think it's going to be way better than this one. I mean, it's Insomniac, so you already know it's going down.
You already know.
Yeah. for real. That's really it for me. I'm still fucking around with PlayStation now though.
Yeah,
I downloaded Wreckfest. I don't know if you know what Wreckfest is.
I don't.
It's like have you ever played, what is it called? Back in the day there was a game called Demolition Derby, or I think it was Demolition Derby. It's
Twisted Metal?
it
Like,
no, it's literally just like a racing car game, but you just fuck shit up. And I remember in Demolition Derby back in the day, I'm pretty sure that's what the game was called. It was on PS2.
Road Rash?
Uh, no, it wasn't Road Rash. It was a racing game, and there would be like a figure eight track, and you could add like different variables to the races. So it'd be like everyone's in a school bus, and like the physics are all crazy and everything's breaking. It's basically like that.
Oh, I think
It's
I
just
think I
like
know what you're
mayhem.
talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I downloaded that. I'm gonna give that a try. Other than that, yeah, that's it. That's all. I haven't been playing shit other than that.
So I really haven't been playing shit too much either. I mean, aside from the occasional siege game, like with friends or whatever, just like before, like, or at night, killing time before I go to
I
bed
want
for
to kill
work.
work.
Yeah, straight up.
The whole
Hashtag-
concept of work just
Hashtag kill work. But there was a big update for No Man's Sky, and
yeah, I saw that.
I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it a chance. I had no idea what it was. My buddy Stu again was like, hey, we should get back into No Man's Sky, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because I don't have a understanding or a awareness of time when I play No Man's Sky. Because
it's a commitment to get
like,
back into that game.
Even like, yeah, you find yourself being like, I want to do that. I want to play No Man's Sky tonight, and then like you look out the window and you're like, oh fuck, like
that's one of those games where you
yeah.
That's one of those games where you play and you're playing and you end up playing for like 6 hours, and then you kind of snap out of it and you're like, have I blinked in the last like 4 hours? Because my eyes are fucking bloodshot red.
So no, but the 100%. That's how I lose. Like I'll get lost in the sauce playing it because I'll be like, oh cool, I found a fucking gas mine or whatever, and I'll start building that. And I'm like, well now I got to build a base over here, and then like I'll be like, oh fuck, it's 7 a.m.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but so the update was for a new mode called Expedition. So what it is you start a new save file, and it is 100% random for the entire galaxy. Everybody gets a random traveler, like you are a random assortment of whatever, like maybe you're a Gek, maybe you're not, whatever.
That's
you
cool.
get a random ship, and you get a path. And they're like, get here before, it's like a 2-week, it's like an event thing, an event update. So like everybody starts an expedition, but everybody in the galaxy starts on the same fucking planet. Right?
What?
Yes. So like the entire lobby starts on the same spot. So like it's actually pretty cool because the communities that are like playing it together or whatever are on the starter planet, like building cities and being like, all right, hey man, come get this stuff. You need like, stop here at this landing dock and like grab whatever you need, like chromatic metal, and like make, get on your merry way. Which is really cool to see like everybody come together.
Oh, dude, God damn it. That sounds so good.
But the cool part about it is because you know how much of a slut I am for cosmetics. You're given a random path throughout the galaxy, and you have waypoints. So like it'll be like, fix your ship, the first waypoint, and then you have like a path to follow to the center of the galaxy. And then once you get there, if you complete the expedition, is what it's called, by the end of the 2-week time or the 2-month timer, because the game's like, this is going to be running for 2 months because 1, obviously people have lives. 2, it might just take that
2
long.
months real life time.
Yes, yeah, 2 months real life time. It's not like you start the game up and it's like, yeah, 40 minutes, go, man. Like, but it's a 2-month like timer for in game for that particular galaxy or like lobby or whatever, your save file. And then once that's done, it's done. And then next, like after the 2 months is over, they'll start a new, like you just wipe that new expedition, but it's linked to your Steam account or whatever you actually play it on, like whatever your No Man's Sky account, I guess you want to call it, your save file in particular, your user profile. So if you complete the expedition, you get like sweet cosmetics or like the likelihood of like exotic ships and stuff showing up across your account. So you could finish this expedition, you get a sweet ass new helmet that you get to access on any save file, and then a sweet ass new blueprint for a certain upgrade or whatever, is awarded to your account. So it's pretty cool. I think they did it as an experiment though. They're like, let's just see. Honestly, it's like a social experiment. Like, let's see if people will work together to get where they need to be, or if they'll be like complete assholes. And so far, it seems like people are just really helping each other out. Like, I'm sure there was like a first expedition, somebody that did it, the first person to do it was like, fuck, and just went. But as soon as he was done, it was like, cool, I'm going to work back to the starting planet and I'm going to help people out. Like that's essentially what I've seen. It's like people are going to where you spawn and like they're dropping crafting things or they're dropping little benches or shit or like, like save points across the path because everybody has the same path too. So like, not only is it kind of cool, like it's a race, but every waypoint you hit, you're essentially building like on the future of people who are behind you. So that you can drop these fabricators and be like, oh man, I don't have anything to make a fabricator. And you just look around, you're like, oh, there's like 30 around here. I could just use one, So it's pretty cool, I'd say.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
It's pretty rad.
I really want to get back into it.
I think you should at least give it a shot. Just see what the expedition does. Like roll the dice, see what your expedition is for like the particular server you're on. And just give it a shot. Like play it for like 2 hours, whatever, which I know is extremely impossible. But just see where you get and see what you can.
What I like about that is like, because every time I've gone back to No Man's Sky, it's like, well, I'm gonna start a new save because it's been a while, and then like, it's like, oh, I gotta do this and this. And I've already done all this shit before, and I gotta do this.
Yeah.
But with this, it's different because it's like, hey,
it's out of necessity. Like you already have everything you need to start. It's not like, hey, your ship's broken. Okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like you already have a ship. You already have like, and it's like random gear too. Like your what's it called? Your tool, your multi-tool, completely random. Like you have no idea what you're gonna get.
That's so cool.
You might get an S class. You might get a fucking C class. And you're like, so that's cool with like random equipment attached to it too. So like you might start your ship that you get. You might start with a fucking blue warp drive. So you're like, oh, I can fucking zoom through the galaxy. Or you start with jack shit and you're like, fuck, I gotta build one, but that's actually something I've kind of been getting into. It's really cool, just games that are straight up community based and just seeing how people interact with each other. It sounds super hippie of me, I guess, or whatever, but like just seeing how well people get along in an online environment that has no bearing on anything, like.
You ever heard of Minecraft servers?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Minecraft servers, or like even why Valheim, even now, Valheim is like still a game that I play religiously because like that's like our dedicated server. Like that's it. It's just us building stuff for each other. Like we'll log in and be like, oh cool, RJ finished that house he was working on, or like, oh cool, somebody repaired my house for me because I haven't been on. It's cool.
That's how it was way back in the day when Minecraft was first like coming out on PC before it was ever on consoles or anything. I actually started a server. I didn't start it, but I was invited to like be a mod on this server that this kid was starting.
Yeah.
And like we built this whole city with a bunch of people, and like all these people were building houses. And, dude, it was so cool. I love shit like that.
Yeah, like a community that just happens overnight almost. Like maybe that's exactly the spark of good stuff that humanity needs right now. Like working together, which I'm sure is taken off exceptionally because of COVID. Like people are just like learning how to get along from a distance. So that's good. I've also been killing a fuck ton of animals, which sounds really bad without context. So I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise, which was the new Monster Hunter that came out for Switch, and it's actually really good. I won't say surprisingly, but it's pretty good because of the fact that, like, one, I know World was really crappy not crappy, but like in terms of optimization for like even for PC, like it takes so much to make it look beautiful. This does not do that, and it looks beautiful on lesser hardware, essentially. Like it's on the Switch of all things, right? Sure, some environments got taxed back, but like character models, exactly like a fucking movie. And so I didn't play too much of it. I played about 20 minutes, 30 minutes into it, and I've been like picking it up over the week, like after I get off work or like before I go to bed, because like that's usually where my Switch is. It's like on my nightstand. I'll like pick up my Switch and play like Animal Crossing or now Monster Hunter for like 30 minutes before I go to sleep. But so it's a lot shorter in the story than World was, because World had a fucking long story. Like it's actually crazy story driven. But this one is like more so it's shorter than World with the story, but that doesn't like the game isn't over when you beat, like when the credits roll. They actually just dropped the content update, which gave more of an ending, because like the ending you get is a cliffhanger. Apparently, I haven't read anything about revealing it. But like, so it like apparently they're adding more content for that for the new update, and then the hunts thing. So do you remember playing multiplayer on World, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then you remember like the SOS flares.
Mm-hmm.
How dumb it was, where if it was something you haven't done, like as the host, you actually can't invite anybody until the cutscenes are over.
Yes, I hated that. That was so stupid.
Well, good. They fixed it. And apparently that's going to be in the rest of modern Monster Hunter games going forward, where you can just call people. You can leave the village at the same time, no matter who story progression is, and a cutscene plays for everybody at the same time. So you can actually start the hunt together. It's not like I have to track the monster myself. Like
it's like Destiny.
Yeah, like it. So I don't have to track the monster by myself and then hurry up and like, oh god, fumble around for a flare gun, pull it, and then hope that you get to where I'm at in time before the monster fucking books it. Like,
right.
Go in together. And they added. You remember the palicos, little cats?
Mm-hmm.
They added puppers now. So like,
really?
The fast travel system. So you have two characters. You have three. It's you, right? The hunter, your cat, and your dog. The dog is kind of like a mount and a damage-based pal, where the palicos were like healers. So like you're rocking it by yourself. I guess people have been kind of complaining to an extent, like avid Monster Hunter fans, because they're saying it's like too easy. But that's just because I think they're making it more accessible to people who wouldn't normally pick up a Monster Hunter game, you know, because like Monster Hunter World was fucking complicated with menus. It's like it's a Japanese game, so like shit's in depth, you know, but not so much this. Like they're making it a little bit easier, and that's just for the story aspect. Like multiplayer and single player are two entirely different like hubs in the little town. Like you go to the gathering hub, the multiplayer one, and you're just like you're just going like looking for servers or whatever. Multiplayer's 4-player supported, but the hunts actually don't scale in multiplayer for the number of players. They're set already maximum recommended for 4 players. So you could take on a multiplayer hunt by yourself if you have fucking balls of steel, I guess. Or you could wait for friends. So like that's pretty cool because it adds a ramp of difficulty to it. I mean, I haven't gotten too in depth into the game, you know, in terms of like mechanics I understand and stuff, but like I haven't done any crazy story stuff. But I mean, I think the biggest takeaway for me was the fact that you can fucking play with your friends now, and it's significantly easier as opposed to like the old process of getting somebody on the same hunt with you. So that's fun. But yeah, I was probably going to stream that probably this weekend too, inevitably. So
Rise has been selling very well too.
Yes.
Which is not surprising at all, but
no, everybody loves Monster Hunter. Even if you say that you don't, that means there's 2 people in the world. People who love Monster Hunter and liars.
Yeah, World, I enjoyed World, but I didn't play it as much as I should have, I feel like.
I think they've also, nothing got confirmed, but I read a couple of like theory articles where like, because now the industry standard is crossplay, for sure. Modern Warfare did it, and like it became like a thing where people were like, you can do that? So like apparently
it started with Fortnite.
Yeah.
Actually, Fortnite and Rocket League, they were like, yeah, this shit works easily. And then everyone was like, what the hell?
Yeah, so I think from what people have been saying, Capcom is like, yeah, dude, we're probably going to do it for the next Monster Hunter, for Monster Hunter World 2. So
That would
that'll
make
be
sense.
fun. That would be good. But
It's in the name, the world.
yeah,
Connect
honestly,
everyone.
that's really it. That's all I've been playing. Like, not too much yet, right?
Do you do any more Katamari?
I didn't actually. I didn't finish it. I need to.
I
Did you
haven't
finish?
either. Oh my god. No, I need to go back to it. Yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna try to do before the next episode is
Yeah,
maybe
I
beat
think
it if it's
I think
not
we
too
should
long.
both. Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, there's achievement stuff that you can like blast through, but from what I understand, there's only 9 or 10 stars
Yeah.
before the game's like, way to go! You want to do it again? Like,
But yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, pretty eventful podcast. Besides the fact that we skipped an entire week of recording, and here we are now.
And I lagged out twice.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody has to know that. It's the beauty of editing, except for the fact that I'm leaving this in now. So I'm going to leave people wondering when exactly you didn't exist in in the podcast. But yeah, I mean that's a place to call it. I'd say it's a pretty good episode.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, you guys know, guys, gals, non-binary pals, know where to find us. All of our socials, every platform available for podcasts: Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. Get that robot on your desk from Amazon to play us. You can. Links in the description will be for the Instant Gaming link for some sweet discounts for you. Like I said, we're kind of inadvertently sponsored by them. Yeah, we're going to get cease and desist later. They're going to be like, stop saying that. My Twitch, twitch.tv/pixels and pints, and William's YouTube channel, World's Okayest Gamer. Check out them fucking sick ass Skater XL montages. Among other things, among that banging WWE 16 Hell in a Cell match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look forward to more content from us. I'm Donovan.
I'm William, and hopefully we'll be back next week.
Oh, there's no hopefully. We will be back next week. Unless a meteor hits my house, which it probably will now that I said something.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been another episode of Super Pixels Weekly. Don't forget to shoot emails to us. You know our email. It's pretty simple: superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Answer that question we posed at the beginning of the cast. Again, what is your biggest gaming plot twist of all time, or what do you think is? Reiterate, please warn for spoilers for games that are most recent, and that might make or break if we read it on the podcast. We don't want to ruin a lot of people's experiences, and if we see it's for a game that came out last week, we're probably not going to read it, just so you know. We might not even open the email.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, catch you guys for sure next week.
All right, later.
Sometimes I hate this, but I love it too.
Hey, what?
Craig.
Oh.
Actually, I don't love it. I hate Craig entirely with all my being.
Yeah, same.
Deeply rooted hate in the bottom of my chest that just flares up every time we record.